back then, and we easily feed ourselves as well
How
as
long are you going to do this?
import
No, just
as well
finish
as
setting up.
All right.
here
What's it?
Just see literally, you're not.
made in so many places by LBAs, local licensed buying agents. We even exported and processed, seen and cope with
I
about
saw somebody that
process
I
we did previously. Today, we are about 200 million, grappling with crushing challenges in food system, forcing Mr. President to declare a state of emergency in attainment of food security in the midst of insecurity, abysmal mechanization, over reliance on rent-fed agriculture, and a host of other threat factors. Our population is projected to be about 400 million come 2050. So there's a lot of work to be done to make Nigeria food and nutrition secure. The dream of one man, His Excellency Abdullahi Adamu, the then governor of Nasarawa State, led to the formation of NAFN in 2007. It was incorporated in 2008. This initiated the annual agricultural show in Nigeria, and we are today celebrating the 15th edition as a veritable contribution to the realization of President Declaration State of Emergency on Food Security. The choice of theme of this year's agricultural show encapsulates the ever compelling vision to achieve food security, the
Oh,
food
you come
security
here and see.
question
My phone is dead.
towards the realization of presidential declaration
My
of
boss is
state of
pushing
emergency
me
on
to
food
come in with
security in
you.
Nigeria.
Oh my God.
The christening of Federal
007
Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development as the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is apt and should serve to send a clear message to Nigeria that Nigeria is poised to attain food
I'll
security.
ask my boss.
The
Just send me a
appointment of
message.
Dr.
I'll give you
Abubakar
details when you get back.
Kari and you Sabi Apply Honorable Ministers further consolidates that desire. The
Even
permanent
me, I'm
secretary,
saying that pay my.
represented by the Director of Planning, Dr. Anas Afolabi, has been supporting the All Farmers Association of Nigeria and the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria tremendously. And it is not out of place to mention that at this point. Now, after having said that, we would like to answer some questions, beginning with how do we achieve quick wins, especially against the backdrop of the right to food for all of this country. Number one, we need to incentivize smallholder farmers to scale the productivity in absolute necessity, but no telling of insecurity that would be similar action to farming. The provision of tax subsidy on seeds and all inputs by all tiers of government, not only federal government, to have the states as an aid. Agricultural productivity actually is the state and local government area. The first and provision of mechanization through the provision of light agricultural farm machinery before making heavy duty tractors, combiners, harvesters, etc. readily available. Enabling the effort to do all year round production through irrigation. The expansion of the adoption of science, technology, and innovation, including applying biotechnology, leading to GM editing, ensuring industrial harmony amongst stakeholders in the agricultural space, unleashing processing as well as providing ready food market for the extension, as well as the provision of effective storage to gain post-harvest loss. Two, most specifically, the need for directors to organizers will be firmed up by patronizing the nearly 70 public companies created telling people or the farmers to produce less because there is too much food and too much produce. We can get that. We have over 84 million cultivable land. We can expand it. Our population is 200 million. 70% of that population are farmers. We have no business not having food. You should know that we feed all of the countries around us here. There is absolute need for Nigeria to play very well on AFTA as a giant that it is called. If we produce more here, we will bring down the prices and costs of food. We will be able to export our surpluses. When we do all these things as long-term or short medium-term milestones, once we are there, we will be able to get income from the export of agri-produce. We used to do this many years ago. That time we were selling all these things in their primary form. Now we should unleash processing to be able to do that. While the present time is called for very long speeches, and another patience from my listeners, I will have to stop here because there's a lot of work to be done on the farm instead of just talking about it. Thank you for listening patiently. I have turned myself into a part of it, but listen patiently. Thank you very much.
Can we one more time appreciate Adjunct Karu Ibrahim, please? Thank you so much. Please let me apologize once more on behalf of those who brought the equipment we're using today, as we're having issues with the microphone. I hope that's corrected once and for all. All right, thank you. Substantial amount of what Architect Karu said, we are lost during the break in transmission. But I can just share a few of them with you. I became interested when he mentioned the agricultural biotechnology, because for me, that is the only way to go. I was a reporter under a Minister of Agriculture some years ago, and that's the man who is now the president of African Development Bank, Akiwumi Adesina. I will make some trips across the globe. One such trips was in Rome, where he was negotiating for EU to accept our cattle meat. And that was a huge one for me, because he was trying to ensure that we penetrate the EU market with our own cattle meat. I don't know how far he went before he left the office, but I don't recall that some efforts have been made in the past to see how we can add value. And with the agricultural biotechnology, according to Architect Kabiru, then we're talking, because the population is growing tremendously. And by 2030, we are going to be about 270 million people, according to estimation. And when that happens, and we calculate ourselves, then we're going to be in a very big mess. But that will happen because efforts have been made to change the narrative. All right, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening very carefully. Now let's move to goodwill messages. First, I'd like to invite to the podium for the first 3 minutes of good message, Professor Mansour Matazu. Professor Matazu is the DG CEO of NIMET. Is he here present, please? The DG of NIMET. That's the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. All right, let's move ahead. Can we have Professor Emmanuel Ekani, the Executive Director of NELS, ABU area? Professor Emmanuel Ekani, is he present here? All right, before we continue, I was just trying to make one of the observations. Let me first of all Let's appreciate those who are here present. His Royal Highness Alhaji Ibrahim Osman Jibrin, CON, Emir of Nasarawa. Can we appreciate him for being here today, please? Thank you. Now we have the Manager of Corporate Communications, Dangote Group, Mr. Abubakar Jibrin. He's also here. And Hajia Jamila Nuhu Musa, Media Relations North, Dangote Group. Thank you for coming here, the Dangote Group. Thank you indeed. We also have Mr. Hashim Ahmed, also of Dangote Group. We're glad you are here. Dangote is adding value to agricultural produce. He's also a farmer. That's where even the big men in this country should go to. If we have about 5 Dangotes in agriculture, then the whole story will change. I did that. All right, may I invite Professor G.B. Ayola. G.B. Ayola is the founder and president of Farm and Infrastructure Foundation. Professor G.B. Ayola, please. Okay, the prof is here. Can we appreciate him tremendously? Can we clap for him, please? Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, the traditional rulers and religious leaders here present, members of the diplomatic and development community, chairman and members of the Board of Trustees of National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria here present, leadership and membership of all Farmers Association of Nigeria (AFAN), distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. The purpose of my goodwill message at this occasion is essentially to apprise the agricultural population of Nigeria about the status of our national campaign of right to food in Nigeria, which we launched and implemented since 2008. Farm and Infrastructure Foundation is an organization for promoting policy best practices and for policy influencing in agriculture and rural development, which through public-spirited policy advocacy, knowledge-driven policy brokerage, and evidence-based policy action research. In this regard, we have worked hard to implement this campaign in the past 15 years, in collaboration with other like-minded organizations, notably the Voices for Food Security and the Nigeria Zero Hunger Forum, as well as all Farmers Association. This is with a view to creating a mind policy and practice change in the notion of food, from the traditional notion of food as a mere human need to the contemporary notion of food as a fundamental human right towards the attainment of food security of this country. Thus, as part of our campaign, we have entered the National Assembly to initiate and promote a bill for an act for the explicit recognition of food as a fundamental human right in the Nigerian Constitution, one that is inalienable, actionable, justiciable, and remediable under our laws. The justification for this is in the mantra of my organization that development is freedom. So agricultural development is freedom from hunger. This against the need to empower the people of this country living in protracted suffering from hunger for them to be able to participate more effectively in the policy process affecting their lives and to demand their God-given right to food from the public and private sector elites operating in that process. As presented to lawmakers and people of Nigeria during this campaign, the right to food we seek is not an apology of state socialism to ask the government to produce food for the people free of charge. Rather, the right to food we seek is in terms of a policy responsibility and policy accountability legislation for making the perennial failure of public agricultural programs and projects at implementation stage practically consequential on both public and private agents responsible for such failures. The good news I have brought to this occasion is that following about 15 years of implementing the campaign and pursuing the bill, our goal has now been achieved. The trajectory of the bill is here under summarized as follows. A. During the 6th Assembly, that is 2007 to 2011, a memorandum was submitted in 2010 to the two National Assembly Committees on Constitutional Review for them to consider and recommend such a bill to that effect in the House and in the Senate, which memorandum failed before both committees irredeemably. Second, the memorandum was reduced to a private members' bill for sponsorship at the House of Representatives in 2010, for which purpose we had a partnership with Honorable Benga Kanjola, then the House Chairman of Agriculture, who sponsored the bill at the House at that time. But unfortunately, the bill failed after the first reading only, before the tenure of that assembly in 2011. During the 7th Assembly, 2011-2015, the bill was revised and also introduced at Senate, for which purpose we found an enduring partnership with Senator Abdullahi Adamu, OFR. Who mobilized 50 other senators to join us for the bill with him in the Senate. Unfortunately, the bill also failed after the first reading stage before the expiration of that assembly in 2015. During the 8th Assembly, that is 2015 to 2019, the bill was recast and simultaneously reintroduced at both the House and the Senate, at which time we found partnership with Honorable Mohammed Tahir Mongono as the sponsor of the bill in the House, while Senator Abdullahi Adamu carried on with the sponsorship in the Senate. Unfortunately, again the bill failed before the two House, that is House and Senate committees, so it was not able for the third reading in either chamber before the tenure of that assembly in 2019. And lastly, during the 9th Assembly, that 2019 to 2023, the bill was reintroduced in both chambers. At the time, our strong partnership was obtained with Senator Abdullahi Adamu and Honorable Tahir Mongono as the sponsors of the bill in the Senate and the House respectively. Fortunately, the bill succeeded in both chambers, passed the first reading, passed the second reading, and passed the committee stages to reach the third and final reading stage in each chamber at that time. Thus, voting took place in each chamber, whereby it was overwhelmingly passed with 296 yes to 2 no's at the House of Assembly and 0 abstained in the House and 81 yes versus 5 no's and 1 abstained in the Senate, leading to the final passage of the bill in March last year, 2022, and following which the bill was sent to the states for their concurrence, which requires the mandatory two-thirds of the 36 state assemblies, that is 24 states, to pass the bill as well. And by the grace of God, in December of last year, 2022, the bill on which the bill was transmitted to the president for his assent. The former president therefore granted his assent earlier this year on 3rd March 2023, thereby signing the bill into law as the last one on the list of 16 constitutional amendment bills that the former president Muhammadu Buhari signed into law before the end of his administration. The title of the new act is Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 5th Alteration, Act number 34 of 2023. Being an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to require the government to direct its policy towards ensuring right to food and food security in Nigeria and for related matters. This represents a critical milestone on the roadmap towards attainment of food security in Nigeria, and for which the present and future generations of people living with hunger shall ever be grateful. Coincidentally, the present administration has also trod the same pathway when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu quickly acted by administrative fire to accord and declare a state of emergency on food security and accorded a top priority to food security, and he also escalated the status of food security as an item on the agenda of the National Security Council, while also changing the name of the ministry from Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, which is commendable. In this regard, I venture to say that by providence and not by accident, the present administration has inherited this act as critical policy and legal instrument is required for the successful implementation of the same of the state of emergency as declared. However, while this action of the present administration is commendable, we are not happy to observe that since March 2023, when the act came into force, and thereby our frantic promptings and sensitization efforts, neither has government acknowledged the arrival of this act in public, nor made reference to it at all, as the principal act required to implement the state of emergency so declared, let alone roll out its implementation with enthusiasm desired. Yet, Honorable Minister, sir, therefore, we humbly call on government at this event to do so without further delay. And at this juncture, it is now left for us to commend the new act to the present administration at federal and state levels for policy authority to take custody of the act and implement the act faithfully. Thank you very much.
Well, please, can we appreciate him one more time? Well, we will pardon Prof. He's a professor, and for you to bring him on a revelation like this to come and do a brief has done, and we have shared it. very appreciable. You know, he chronicled how a bill on agriculture was dancing around in the National Assembly, something like concerning food, dancing around the National Assembly for so many years. For me, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And I'm sure that the Honorable Minister of Agriculture was in the Senate at the time. And would you respect former governor of Nasarawa State, former chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Adamu? He did a lot. And he was one of those, in fact, championed the cause of this gathering when we started 15 years ago. And if all the senators or former governors engage in agriculture as Senator Adamu did, today we will not be talking about food security. There will be hotels that nobody goes to. And that was happening all over the state. So if we want to have food security, the current administration is saying it's time to go back to farm. And that's exactly what we need to do. All right, now let's move ahead. Now let me invite thank you, Okonkwo, the Basta. She's the CEO, founder of Fresh and Young Brains Development Initiative. If Nkiru is here, please kindly come here. And can we put our together for her? Yes, Nkiru Okonkwo, CEO, founder, Fresh and Young Brains Development Initiative. She's been in farming for a very long time, and let's share her experience with her for 3 minutes.
His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GTFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, our leader here in the country. His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule, Executive Governor, Nasarawa State, ably represented here by the Deputy Governor, Senator Abubakar Karu, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, represented here by various directors, Acted Kabir Ibrahim, Chairman BOT, NAFN and National President AFAN, and of course our very own Senator Abdullahi Adamu, Dr. Samuel, distinguished members of the High Table, development partners, colleagues in civil society organizations, the private sector, media personnel, and our great farmers. It gives me great joy to deliver this goodwill message tagged youth and women as critical stakeholders in realizing the Presidential Declaration on Food Security Emergency in Nigeria. Represented in the Mixture Technical Committee by their organization, the Government Initiative, and our Nigerian Consult, the initiators and implementers of the Youth Farm Popular of White Farm project that focuses on empowering women and youth as transformative leaders in agribusiness, value chain development, nutrition-sensitive agriculture, and sustainable agriculture across Nigeria through innovative research and documentation, capacity building, policy engagement, agri-festivals, and other activities. I congratulate the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria and her partners for organizing this special event every year to provide a strategic platform for all stakeholders in the agricultural sector to share innovative and good practices, brainstorm on practical solutions to addressing existing and emerging challenges that we face in the agricultural sector, and of course, cooperate ideas for a food secure Nigeria. Indeed, the theme of this year's National Agriculture is apt as it gives us a unique opportunity to reflect on our individual and collective actions geared towards the realization of the Presidential Declaration of Emergency on Food Security. As the coordinator of the Youth and Women Subcommittee in the National Agricultural Technical Committee, I'm excited to announce that this year's Youth and Women in Agriculture Seminar and Exhibition scheduled to hold in the next 2 days, is enhancing the capacity of youth and women towards realizing the Presidential Declaration on Food Security Emergency in Nigeria. We carefully selected the theme in recognition of the immense role of youth and women in promoting food security and the importance of strengthening the capacities of women and youth, as well as collaborating with them as critical stakeholders in achieving the 12 main action points in the Presidential Declaration's Intervention Plan. Interestingly, poverty and unemployment have been identified as among the drivers of food insecurity in Nigeria that I would like us to really look at in order to make it easy for young people and women and also the persons with disability and our smallholder farmers to, especially because they are the most advantaged, for them to be able to benefit. According to Care International 2023, unemployment and poverty rates matter because the ability to earn a living has a huge impact on one's capacity to access food and other basic necessities of life, just as being poor affects one's quality of life and relative capacity to live an enhanced life. It is therefore alarming that the World Poverty Clock indicated that 71 million Nigerians are currently living in extreme poverty. This is viewed as the highest number globally. And meanwhile, KPMG, in its Global Economic Outlook Report, H1 2023, estimated that unemployment rate in Nigeria, which stood at 37.7% by the end of 2022, may increase to 40.6% before the end of this year, and by 43% next year. Urgent actions are therefore needed to address poverty and unemployment among the vulnerable populations, particularly women, youth, persons with disabilities, and smallholder farmers, in order to enhance the livelihood. Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is indeed an urgent need to enhance the participation and quality of participation on influence of women and youth in the implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and reporting of the 12 main points of the Presidential Declaration on Food Security Emergency. Therefore, standing on the global youth slogan that anything about us, without us, is not for us. Permit me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, to strongly recommend that we mainstream youth and women in all plans, activities, and committees for the implementation of the Presidential Declaration, both at the community, local government, state, zonal, and federal levels. It will enhance their capacities to effectively contribute to food security and nutrition-sensitive agriculture. Our organization, the NAFN, and all partners for the Agri Show will be indeed happy to collaborate with our government at all levels to ensure that farmers, particularly youth and women, are not left behind, in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Finally, on behalf of the Youth and Women constituency, I warmly invite you to our Youth and Women in Agri Show seminar and exhibition scheduled to hold this Thursday, November 23rd, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the conference hall of the showground. Thank you, NAFN and partners, for this opportunity. Together, we can promote food security for our collective good and sustainable future. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much indeed, Madam Karu Okonkwo. Yes, the founder of Fresh and Young Brains Development Initiative. Well, you don't compare us to include women, because if women turn their back on farming, then we will all die of hunger in this country. They are the key stakeholders in this farming business. Now, may I invite to the podium again another lady, Aisha Rimi. Aisha Rimi is the Executive Secretary and CEO of NIPC. Aisha Rimi, please. Okay. Is she the one coming? can we appreciate her, please? Let's appreciate her, please. Thank you.
The governor, Minister of Agri, former governor of Nasarawa, the chairman of APC, the chairman of the board of trustees, honorable commissioner, traditional rulers, ladies and gentlemen, member of the show. Good afternoon.
I love the Aisha Rimi he mentioned. I'm standing in place of her. Let me, on behalf of the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, appreciate the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria for its commitment to showcase Nigeria's abundant agricultural potentials, resources, and products, consolidating past achievements, identifying challenges facing the sector, and charting way forward for the development of agri in Nigeria. This event is very special to us at NAFN, as it resonates deeply with our mission. We understand that a thriving agricultural industry is not only vital for our economy, but also essential for ensuring food security and sustainable development. There is no gainsaying that there are challenges faced while doing business in Nigeria, though these challenges are often blown out of proportion. The government's efforts to address them and the opportunities that Nigeria represents are often underreported. Though we are not yet where we want to be in terms of the ease of doing business, we are competitiveness of Nigeria economy to attract quality foreign direct investments in critical sectors of the economy to place the country on the path of rapid and sustainable growth and development. As Nigeria's foremost agency responsible for promoting, coordinating, and facilitating investment in the country, Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission is happy to partner with NINCOM in driving some of the very useful recommendations that will come out of this summit in getting diaspora direct investments. NIPC will continue to maintain strong investor support to navigate regulatory and administrative process through the one-stop investment center. We are equally focusing more on aftercare in order to assist existing investors in the country to resolve their concerns and expand their businesses or diversify into other sectors. Accordingly, NIPC shall continue to support and collaborate with relevant stakeholders active in the agricultural space to outlook investment in Nigeria. As we embark on this enriching journey over the next few days, let us sow the seeds of knowledge pave the way for the future where at Nigeria agriculture stands or resilience about people. Thank you.
All right, please.
of the Director General of Nigerian Meteorological Agency, Professor Mansour Bako Matazu, dear farmers and agricultural community, I would like to General CEO NIMET extend my warmest regards and greetings to you all who are tirelessly working to ensure the prosperity of agricultural production in Nigeria. The critical role you understand the profound impact that climate patterns have on agricultural activities. The subject are intrinsically linked to the prevailing atmospheric conditions, and we recognize the challenges you face in navigating these often unprecedented challenges. We are actually aware of the importance of timely and accurate weather information for effective agricultural planning and decision making. Meteorological data such as rainfall patterns, temperature fluctuations, and extreme weather events are invaluable tools that enable you to optimize crop selection, implement efficient irrigation systems, and manage pest and disease outbreaks. By staying informed and making informed choices, we can mitigate risk, reduce losses, and maximize yields. Our commitment as an agency of the federal government is to provide you with the most reliable and up-to-date weather forecast and climatic projections possible. We invest significant resources in observing and analyzing atmospheric phenomena, developing sophisticated models, and disseminating information through various channels. We strive to empower you with the knowledge and insights necessary to make informed choices in your agricultural practices. However, it's important to acknowledge that weather and climate patterns are increasingly influenced by the complex interplay of natural variability and human-induced changes. Climate change poses new and evolving challenges for the agricultural sector, including altered rainfall patterns, rising temperatures, and an increased frequency of extreme weather events. Adapting to these changes requires collective efforts and innovative strategies. We encourage you to embrace sustainable agricultural practices that promote resilience and minimize environmental impacts. Conservation agriculture, precision farming, and the use of climate-smart technologies are just a few examples of approaches that can enhance productivity while preserving natural resources. By adopting these practices, you not only contribute to long-term viability of your own operations, but also contribute to the broader goal of building a sustainable and food-secure future. In conclusion, on behalf of NIMET, express my sincere appreciation and gratitude for your unwavering dedication and hard work. Your tireless efforts contribute to the well-being of our society. Your commitment to sustainable agricultural practices, which
Nigeria Meteorological Agency. Look at something funny sometimes about Nigerian agents. They give Nigeria weather predictions, climatic predictions, even to the extent of talking about the water movement. And it's a sister agency also doing the same. But what happens when they give us predictions? They give us predictions and nobody listens to the predictions. In other words, the people in the government and the county areas do not pay respect that, and therefore do not react positively to ensure that we mitigate flood, for instance. But every day, flooding kills farmers. Some farmers found their losses because of flooding. But most of that flooding can be mitigated if we listen to NIMET on an annual basis, and they give us predictions before the rain comes. Nobody make plans to mitigate flood. I want to begin to believe that the renewed hope will begin to begin in not just in other aspects of life but agriculture. And I want to also believe that we are going to go back to when it used to be in the regional areas where we have to have huge amount of agricultural practice. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to have a short break. And therefore, we are bringing in the cultural troupe, the Nasarawa State Cultural Troupe, to give us a minute entertainment before we continue with the last lap of our gathering here. Thank you so much for being here. Please stay on as we have about 30 or 40 minutes to go before we round up here.
Where does get you from there now?
Hello. Oh, now you're better. Oh, baby.
Thank you so much. We are going to listen.
All right, thank you. Let's appreciate the Nasarawa State Cultural Troupe. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Well, I'm following along with the Nasarawa people. You know, when it comes to the north, Nasarawa is my special state. You know, because here, I names are some of my big kids here. I'm someone I grew from Nasarawa State, and I cousin Anta Agro in Iran. I've seen so many Obiora. I just asked the question, where is this name come from? Are there, why sound? They all sound alike. They meet things differently, but then they sound alike. I appreciate that. Let's clap for Nasarawa people. And they are also development oriented, into farming. They are highly development oriented. If you know about Naseni, you talk about Professor Haruna, he turned Naseni right round. And we have good stories to tell about Naseni. He's a Nasarawa man. There are many Nasarawa people who have held authority positions and did well. Abraham Hademu is here, Senator is here, William is record, and so on and so forth. I think after looking up to his in agriculture. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite the governor of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi Sule. He is here, represented by the Deputy Governor of State, Dr. Emmanuel Akane.
President and Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who is ever represented, and no less but Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Karu, the Chairman Board of Trustees, the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria, the father of politics and the father of politicians, in Nasarawa State and beyond, His Excellency, distinguished Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the National Coordinator of NAFN, Honorable Commissioners that are here, special advisors, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Nasarawa, the former Minister of Environment, Allah Ibrahim Usman Jibrin, CON, top government functionaries, chief executive of boards, parastatals and agencies at both federal and state levels, captains of industries that are here, distinguished invited guests, our farmers, the award-winning Zakunga cultural troupe, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I will start by extending the apologies of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Esule, who himself is also a farmer, for his inability to be here personally, be part of this public event. He has asked us to represent him and deliver his speech. I will therefore go ahead and read his speech as given to me. I am honored to welcome His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, to the 2023 National Agricultural Show, campus here in Abuja, Karu local government area of Nasarawa State. Your Excellency's presence at this occasion is no doubt a testimony of your commitment to revolutionize agriculture in line with your economic diversification drive for socio-economic development. Similarly, I welcome all of you who are part of this epoch-making event. I specifically welcome the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abubakar Karu, to this all-important occasion. It is also my pleasure to recognize the presence of all of you who are here, captains of industries, chief executives of boards and parastatals, as well as eminent personalities and stakeholders, including farmers who have come to share their ideas and experiences and to also showcase their agricultural produce at this auspicious occasion. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, it is gratifying to point out that the timing of this show resonates with our collective commitment to ensure food security and value addition. This year's event is therefore critical, considering our collective resolve to restore the lost glory of agriculture as one of the major contributors to the gross domestic product and foreign exchange earners of the nation. my belief, His Excellency, Mr. President, has recently approved, this is why I believe, sorry, His Excellency, Mr. President, has recently approved the immediate release of fertilizers and grains to farmers and households to mitigate the effects of the fuel subsidy removal. I commend Mr. President's resolve to ensure the urgent synergy between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Water Resources to ensure adequate irrigation of our lands and to guarantee all year-round food production. I'm also aware the National Commodity Board is mandated to ensure continuous view of food prices as well as maintain the strategic food reserve that will be used as a price stabilization mechanism for critical grains and other food items. On our part, because incumbent on us individually and collectively to support Mr. President in this case to ensure that agriculture assumes its rightful place. This is more so that God has blessed us with arable land for the production of a variety of crops. It is important to state that Nigeria is endowed with human resources mostly populated by the youth. In this regard, I implore our youth to engage in agricultural practice with a view to achieving a twin goal of being employed and enriching our nation with food value chain that will ensure food security and endanger industrialization of our dear nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as stakeholders, it behoves on all of us to, in our peculiar terrain, complement Mr. President's gesture in this direction. I urge us to initiate policies and programs that will not only enhance agricultural production, but also make our respective states major producers of particular crops that will have comparative advantage on, thereby adding value to our national economy in order to attract investors to our folds. Excellencies, distinguished guests, let me use this opportunity to share our experience in Nasarawa State. As an agrarian society, Nasarawa State has continued has identified different facilities suitable for the cultivation of peculiar and particular crops. This aims at producing such crops in commercial quantities. It is in this regard that our cooperation with Olam Farms has since begun to yield appreciable results. As a result of this partnership, Nasarawa State is one of the largest producers of rice in the whole of Africa. In addition, we recently commissioned the rice processing incubation plant in Lafia, the capital of Nasarawa State, aimed at processing the and export. We have endeavored to invest who are investing in different areas of the agricultural sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you're all aware, agriculture is the cornerstone for the sustainable socio-economic development of our dear economy. It is up through which we can achieve the tripartite benefit of creating employment, generating wealth, as well as establishing industries that produce agriculture, that process agricultural produce for consumption and exportation. This endeavor is not the responsibility of government alone. I therefore call on stakeholders, including industries, to invest massively in agriculture. All industry that transform Nigeria into a viral country for food security and value chain action. At this juncture, foundation of Nigeria, the federal as well as state governments facilitating the strategy of the 2023, who have come from far and wide to locate the approach. No doubt that this year's event will provide a unique opportunity to cross-fertilize ideas with the transforming agricultural sector
that in Nigeria we lack a lot of continuity in doing things. Otherwise, today, bread would be cheaper than it is today. If we had continued with cassava bread, by now we would have transformed it into Nigerian kind of bread. I want to tell you, Honorable Minister, that some time ago, under Opposition and brought back to Nigeria. For me, it's a slight on our integrity as a nation. So that we have to ensure that whatever we're doing now, we have to get those past defense correct. And I want to believe, fortunately, that the kind of experience that you have, that you are going to change the course of history of the agri ministry, and of course give more strength and power to agriculture and the farmers that we have in this country. On that note, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to the podium the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. He is also here representing the President of the Republic of Nigeria, President Ahmed Tinubu. So now join me as I welcome the Honorable Minister of Agriculture to his location. Bro.
The Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, ably represented by my brother, the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, my father, my boss, former national chairman of the APC, former that, Senator Abdullah Adamu, CON, the Chairman Board of Trustees of the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria, Architect Kabiru Ibrahim, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Nasarawa, Alhaji Ibrahim Usman Jibril, Honorable Commissioners of Agriculture from various states of the Federation, representative of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, the Director General, National Agricultural Foundation, Dr. Samuel Lekedu, Head of Agencies, parastatals, and Directors of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, representatives of the private sector, farmers groups, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First, let me start by expressing my appreciation to the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria for hosting the 2023 and 15th edition of the National Agricultural Show theme towards realization of the Presidential Declaration of Emergency on Food Security. It is my pleasure to state that the choice of this theme is greatly relevant, as it accentuates not just the goal of this show, but brings to mind the priorities of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration and are core to the mandates of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. I am therefore delighted to participate in the ceremony of this very important annual event. You are all aware of the 3-year economic revival plan, which emerged from the inaugural Executive Council meeting chaired by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR on August 28, 2023. The plan, which is anchored on an 8-point agenda, is targeted at addressing Nigeria's socio-economic challenges. Four key priorities of this renewed hope agenda are core to the mandates of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. For the avoidance of doubt, the following presidential priorities are our core agenda and are well aligned with the mandates and operations of our ministry. Number one, food security. Number two, economic growth and job creation. Number three, poverty eradication. Number four, inclusivity for youth and women, and enabling environment for individuals, groups, and private sector to participate in governance and economic activities. Accordingly, and going forward, we commit to ensuring that all programs and initiatives of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security are completely aligned to attaining these four presidential priorities. The importance of agriculture is fundamental for food security and ensuring sustainability and resilience in food systems. I want to use this opportunity, therefore, to assure all our stakeholders that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated total commitment and political will to transform the agriculture sector of our dear country by making food security the number one presidential priority of his agenda. Addressing issues on food security requires the coordinated support of meaningful engagement of stakeholders. Towards delivering on the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, our ministry aims to engage with all ministries, departments, and agencies and state governments towards addressing all issues impacting the attainment of our national food security objectives. We also remain committed to promoting and creating synergy between non-governmental organizations and the private sector to enhance efforts at ensuring food security, economic growth, job creation, and poverty reduction in line with the presidential priorities. Our immediate and short-term plans entail developing a standard framework and guide for ease of doing agriculture and food security operations, business, projects in Nigeria. In this regard, robust stakeholder analysis that will produce a working stakeholder map showing who does what, where, and how, and what are the mutually beneficial areas for smallholder farmers, large-scale farmers, processors, marketers, and organized private sector is already being worked out. Accordingly, we note with great admiration that the National Agricultural Show, which started in 2007 under the leadership of our dear father, Senator Abdullah Adam, as a collaborative effort between the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, and Nasarawa State Government is geared towards showcasing Nigeria's abundant agricultural potential, resources, and products, consolidating past achievements, identifying challenges facing the sector, and charting the way forward for the development of agriculture in Nigeria. Agricultural shows have a long history worldwide. Activities in events present spin-off benefits to the gathering of all stakeholders in the sector by serving a high-level platform for business-to-business linkage, technology transfer, knowledge exchange, public-private collaboration, and policy discourse amongst participants from all walks of life. Over time, agricultural shows have become veritable tools for showcasing latest developments within the agricultural sector. It brings people together to network, to do business, and to give the public a glimpse into the farming life. It also provides hope for the farming and rural community to meet, exchange ideas, and above all, have a few days away from the farms. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to acknowledge the rich heritage and history of the farming sector, which provides the main source of livelihood for the majority of Nigerians, is adequately promoted by this annual event. It is therefore hoped that the show will raise the needed attention to the unprecedented challenges that affect the stability of the food and agricultural systems and spur wide stakeholder participation in the application of latest knowledge, practices, and new approaches in agriculture in order to achieve sustainable food security in Nigeria. Organizing an agricultural show is usually a significant undertaking. An incredible amount of hard work is necessary to create such events and ensure they are successful. I therefore commend Nasarawa State Government, the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria, all Farmers Association of Nigeria, and indeed all the participants that have come from far and wide and the numerous stakeholders who have made this event come to reality. I am particularly proud of the Nigerian farmers and will be delighted to see them celebrated in the show. It is my sincere hope that this event will translate into a viable opportunity that will make our farming more efficient, profitable, and sustainable to achieve security for all. Standing here before you representing Mr. President, on this note, I wish to formally flag off the 2023 National Agricultural Show in Nigeria today and welcome you all to this very important annual event. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. We thank you indeed for what you told us. All right, thank you.
Hype man.
Thank you so much. All right, well, thank you. Easy. Thank you. It's okay, they've had you. Thank you. All right, thank you indeed, everyone, and thank you once again to every minister represented of the president of this country. Sir, you have delivered a very articulate presentation, which is very key because it has a lot of components in that. We want to believe that in your regime as the Minister of Agriculture, that you are going to effectively ensure that some of the items that you pointed out here are going to be deliberated on, because if you take into action what you have told us today, then agri sector will change automatically in Nigeria. Now, I tell you one story. I was privileged to travel to Indonesia with the former Minister of Science and Technology, and we were taken to where palm oil was transformed into a kind of a car driving oil, so to speak. They call it, the name they call it, but what they do is they are using red oil to transform into an oil that can be used in driving a car. So we were asked so many questions, or we asked to say, how is this possible? We know that Malaysia is kind of palm oil in the world today, and we know they came and took stuff from Nigeria. But Indonesia is a neighboring country from Malaysia. Now, if you see the kind of palm trees I saw in Indonesia, the palm trees were breathing. You can see them. The palm trees are huge, and they carry over 30, 40, of fruits. I mean, I don't understand that. What did they put in that palm tree to be as big as they are? And it is the plantation of palm tree in Indonesia. And if they are converting red oil into an oil to be used to drive a car, then it means that they are already transformed it into something else. So you have talked to us, we had you, and when we begin to replace all we said, Nigeria will be better for it. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring in a man I call an organizer. a facilitator, an enabler, a man in positive partnership, a collaborator. He makes this gathering possible each year. We ask you that as we welcome the National Coordinator, Dr. Samuel Levodo, and we appreciate you. Thank you. He's coming to be vote of thanks for the people that are still here. Thank you.
President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kian. The Governor of Nasarawa State, our first governor, represented by the Deputy Governor. Our mentor, Senator Abdullahi Adam. The chairman of the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria, Architect Karu Ibrahim. He is making some of us in agriculture feel that we should go into the architecture profession and give him a challenge, because he has given us a challenge here. Honorable commissioners, traditional rulers, ladies and gentlemen, and the press, I have this unique opportunity to give a vote of thanks at this occasion, the 15th edition of the National Agricultural Show. I want to express our gratitude to the Almighty God that made it possible. He's been doing it for us for the past 14 editions, and this is the 15th. We are grateful to him. And for next year, we'll be looking forward to him. We want to appreciate the Nasarawa state government for being there for us in so many ways. They have been our support over the years, and they have been very, very, very able hosts to us. We are grateful to them. We are grateful to the Minister of Agriculture and NAFN. They have been there collaborating to make this event possible. And they have brought in so much to bear on this unique occasion. We are grateful to them. I want to use a minute to say thank you to our mentor, Senator Abdullahi Adamu. He started it all and had worked assiduously. His spirit of a never say die had kept us going. He had used his resources in various ways to make this show possible. He's been here bearing all sorts of odds, and today he is here and he's seen us as a child that has grown. We are eternally grateful to you for this, and we believe that from not being in charge as the chairman, but now as an able patron of this unique organization, you will keep on supporting us. We also believe that we will not fail you in what you have handed up to us. We are very grateful. Thank you. We sponsors, but among them are the National Agricultural Business, the Nigerian Agricultural Business Group, and Dangote. The Dangote Group had been so supportive that we want them to have a permanent building here. And I say that very soon Dangote is going to have a Dangote building here by the grace of the Almighty. So the exhibitors, we are grateful. We know the cost of coming here. But despite that, you are coming in good numbers. We are grateful to all of you. We believe that there will be higher growth in your businesses as you live here. The projects of the Ministry of Agriculture, you come in a big way. We acknowledge your presence. We also want to acknowledge the fact that in the course of this particular event, we are going to have Agricultural Technology Day tomorrow. And we believe that people will come to see the latest in agricultural technology that is available. We don't have to go far to see that. To the press, you have been out there for us in your numbers and in your outreach. We are very grateful. To the general public, especially the peaceful community of Tunduanda, we are grateful. Thank you all for coming here. God bless you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you indeed for Dr. Samuel. Thank you once again. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to gather here again next year to have another agricultural show. I want to ask us to please ensure that this year's agricultural show will bring about the deliverable. So by next year, we shall be talking about what we have achieved with this year's 2023 National Agricultural Show. So at this point, I'd like us to stand and take the national anthem. But again, of course, the dignitaries are going to visit some stands here. Honorable Minister, you're going to see some wonderful creations by our people. We're going to see some agricultural products that have been, added value to. And then if you have time to go around, you'll appreciate it so much. So for now, let's rise for national anthem, please.
So, everything that we said, you will just tighten everything. Just breathe them up. Just try to catch it. Because look around.
We're going to be on a guided tour of some steps, please. Dr. Expy is do a very guided tour of the minister to selected steps here. Thank you everyone for coming here. See you again.
water. And you want this power by solar energy.
That's wrong. Which church? Okay, the church controller that is probably okay.
Adamu, no man. Sorry.